This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, on Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins in multiple ways here on the net. If you have NetLogger, you may log in via the AIM window, and I'll get you on the list. In fact, we have quite a few check-ins already on NetLogger tonight, 8 of them. Also take them over the air, of course. I will take them via email. If you're out there listening and can't join us over the air, you can send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and just let me know. Let me know your name, location, and if you have a call sign, that would be great too. And also, we are on YouTube. I'm on YouTube tonight, and I don't see anybody checking in on YouTube yet, but I know hopefully they will be there. If you are on YouTube, there we go. We got one check-in over on YouTube already. I'll get down to you in just a bit, but welcome to one and all. Let's see. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge those that have already checked in via NetLogger or YouTube, and then I'll call over the air. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Randall, AE7RJ, thanks for checking in tonight. Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Matt, W0MDK, thanks for checking in tonight. Sorry about that. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. Stan, VE3PSE, thanks for checking in tonight. Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. David, WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. Richard, KJ5MOD, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. I'm just getting one thing that I forgot to do tonight is set my timer. So I've got that set up for my transmission so I don't time out the repeater systems. In fact, I'm notorious for doing that myself. So hopefully I haven't done that yet. Yeah, Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. Anyone else over on YouTube wishing to check in, I'll see your name pop over there. If you have a call sign, definitely include that in the chat. I'll get you logged in. If you don't, a first name and a city, a location, someplace like that, that would be great. I always like to know where I'm getting check-ins from, especially since this is a global net and getting around the world. Not quite, but close enough. All right. That's all the check-ins I'm seeing right now, so I'll go ahead and open up the net. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now taking check-ins. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
B3, BCG. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. You're on the keep on this.
Okay, it seems I'm going to go ahead and QSY to my secondary channel. It seems we're having some breakups. At least, well, we'll see. Moy, we'll see. Better now. Okay. All right. I think I got Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Charlie Golf. Is that correct?
No, it is Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Charlie Golf. Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Charlie Golf. It's Mike.
Okay, that was a little broken up myself a little bit. Let me make sure. Victor Alpha 3, was that Bravo Charlie Golf? Bravo Charlie Golf, over.
QSL, yes. Mike, just checking in. Nothing to report. And first certificate.
All right, let's see. It's coming up as VA3BCG, coming up as Grant as the first name on my list. Is that what you go by? I thought you said Mike. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead, please.
Victor Alpha Charlie Golf. And yes, it is Mike. Victor
All right, Mike, thanks for checking in tonight, and welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, Graham, MM1DEA, thanks for checking in tonight. Mike, welcome to the net. My name is Bernice, that's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. I appreciate you checking into the Colorado Astronomy Net tonight. Always like to touch base with my first time check-ins, find out what your interests interests are in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades, somewhere in between. Give you a little bit of background on the Colorado Astronomy Net. Been doing this net for almost 30 years and having fun doing it all. I'm taking check-ins, got some quick announcements, got some local astronomical news, got a rocket report, and some bulletins as well. And then I like to go down the list a little bit later on and talk with everybody, question and answer, and find out what they're looking at up in the skies. So hopefully you can stick around, Mike. First off, I'll come back to you right now. What is your interest, background in astronomy? Please go ahead.
I'm actually totally wrong. I got to three voluntarily go, but a lot of the spacecraft and the exploration of them I find quite interesting.
All right, Mike, this is a learning net, so hopefully you will learn something. I try to definitely disseminate information about what's up in the night skies, some of the other space missions, things like that. Got an interesting one this evening. You know, stuff we can't see with the naked eye. And, you know, sometimes some of it's theoretical and over my head, too, so every now and then. But interesting stuff, and that, one reason I like to share astronomy over, you know, a visual medium over the airwaves here, you know, on an audio medium as well. So I like to combine them both, and we have a whole bunch of listeners out there tonight, as you can tell. And so I do appreciate that. So again, Mike, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into the announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the webpage is also a spot where you may submit your email address to get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the webpage and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org. For more information, you can also find us on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. The IAAS also has a call sign, which is K0AAS, Kilo Zero Alpha Alpha Sierra. If you hear us on the air, be sure to say hi, especially on Friday evenings. Yeah, especially on Friday evenings during our meeting time. And give us a call. We're usually monitoring the Skyhub Link system, and the students are usually involved with their projects, but don't mind taking a minute or two to hop on the radio and share what they're doing as well, if you're interested, for sure. If you have any young potential, if you have some young students that are interested in astronomy or any of the other interests there, have them hop on the radio and say hi too. And the students would love to share what they're doing with people their own age as well. On Mondays and Wednesdays, Jack, KE0VH, hosts a flight on his flight simulator channel on YouTube. That is Captain Jack Flight Sim, CapnJackFLTSIM. He's been rather busy this summer, so you'll have to kind of watch that space to see when he will be doing his flights. Hopefully, by the end of the month, he'll be back on a regular schedule. He does that at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Mondays and Wednesdays, and sometimes sometime in between he'll announce that. But check with that and come ride along in a simulated flight with him as well. Good conversation. He likes to play some tunes on there as well. So, and other amateur radio operators hop on there too as well. So, and that's all I have for announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause again to see if there are any more check-ins. I'm not seeing too much activity over on YouTube, but if there is anyone else over on YouTube, definitely say hey, and we'll get you checked in as well. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, good evening to you, John, W2JLS. Thanks for checking in tonight. Todd, KE9DQS, Delta Quebec Sierra, thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call on the list, so welcome, Todd. I'll get back with you in just a sec. Good evening to you, Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Todd, KE9DQS, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernice, that's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign, Kilowatt India, Zero, Alpha, Romeo. Always like to touch base with my first-time check-ins, find out what your interests and background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for quite some time, somewhere in between. I've been doing this, the net, for almost 30 years, 3 years here on Skyhub Link. So again, welcome. Todd, tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead.
I appreciate you having me on the net. It's just a casual interest in astronomy. I've been getting kind of started in my life since about mid-July. And then I actually had a International Space Station pass overhead here around the 8
All right, Todd, again, welcome. Yeah, we do talk about the ISS and ISS passes as well. You may want to check out the SSTV signals that they send down there every now and then as well. I have to keep up on those myself. Yeah, good luck with making contact. You actually get, I think you get a contact certificate even if you just hear them and submit it as well. So you can definitely talk a little bit about that as well. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of experience across the check-ins as well. So lots of different interests as well. So again, welcome. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to let this repeater reset and then get into the local astronomical news for October. We're finishing up September. Not much else happening tonight. So we'll get right into October, which will be pretty much what's going on tonight as well. So I'll let this reset and get right back to you. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, this is kind of a dry run for my October newsletter. I haven't quite put the finishing touches on it, but I do like to go through, and when I do have this kind of a chance to present that to the net, and you'll forgive me for any few pauses that I might be correcting typos before I actually get around to publishing the newsletter. So here we go. Astronomy newsletter for October of 2025. We'll start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We got a full moon coming up on the 6th, a last quarter moon on the 13th, a new moon on the 21st, and a first quarter moon on the 29th. Excuse me. A little tickle in the throat there. Okay, the moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth in October. On the 8th, it will be 223,581 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth in October. On the 23rd, it will be 252,553 miles from Earth. All right, the one reason I like to give perigees and apogees for the moon is usually we have supermoons. That's when the moon is closest to the Earth and in a full phase. We don't have, well, let's see. We have one that's fairly close. The perigee is on the 8th. We got a full moon on the 6th. So the moon will appear to be a little bit bigger and a little bit brighter. Full moon, not in the realm of supermoon category, but close. So look out for that, the harvest moon coming up on the 6th. All right. Planetary highlights for October. October's longer nights bring 2 transits of Titan across Saturn, while Io and Europa tangle together across Jupiter 3 times. Mercury and Mars make a brief evening appearance, and Venus dominates the morning sky. Plus, the fine Orionid meteor shower occurs during the dark of the moon. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, October 2025, page 28. On with the individual planets. Mercury will be at greatest eastern elongation, or about 24 degrees east of the sun, which actually means it's about as high as it's going to get towards the west. That will be on the 29th, towards the end of the month. Mercury sets about 7 13 p.m. on the 1st and about 6:55 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes after sunset, just above the western horizon. Mercury moves from the constellation of Virgo into Scorpius, shining at magnitude minus 0.1 on the 31st. A quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase in value, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see is around 6th magnitude under optimal conditions, dark skies, no city lights, things like that. So a magnitude 5 object, which is one magnitude less than 6, is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. So the lower the magnitude, the brighter the object. And this scale is, for every 5 magnitudes, there's a difference in brightness by a factor of about 100. Venus rises about 4:57 a.m. on the 1st and about 6:06 a.m. by month's end. Look for Venus to the east about an hour before sunrise. Venus moves from the constellation of Leo into Virgo, shining at magnitude minus 3.9 on the 15th. Then we got Mars. Mars is setting about 7:49 p.m. on the 1st, about 6:50 p.m. by month's end. Look for Mars low to the west in the evening, about 30 minutes after sunset. Mars moves from the constellation of Virgo into Libra, shining at magnitude 1.5. Excuse me, read that wrong. So you'll get to a magnitude 15 soon enough in this reading for tonight. Jupiter is rising about 12:37 a.m. on the 1st, about 10:43 p.m. by month's end. Look for Jupiter to the south in the early morning hours before dawn. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 2.2. You can stay up late and watch Jupiter rise, but give it about 30 minutes to an hour before it's well above the horizon to spot Jupiter. But in the very early morning hours, you may be able to should be able to see that quite handily. We got Saturn. Saturn rises about 6:19 p.m. on the 1st and about 4:13 p.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn low to the east in the evening sky. Follow Saturn across the sky all night long. Saturn moves from the constellation of Pisces into Aquarius, shining at magnitude 0.7. Saturn reached opposition last month, so it's still prime observing for that planet. It is not as close as it was last night, but it's, or I should say, the opposite side of the sun than we are. So it is about as best as it's gonna get. We got Uranus rising about 8:58 p.m. on the 1st and about 6:53 p.m. by month's end. Look for Uranus to the southeast in the late evening. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.6. And then we got Neptune rising about 6:21 p.m. on the 1st and about 4:17 p.m. by month's end. Look for Neptune low to the east in the evening, just northeast of Saturn all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.7. Actually, Saturn is a fairly good pointer for Neptune. It's been a little bit better, but once Saturn rises, it's at about the 10 o'clock position relative to Saturn is. and it is now about 3 degrees away from Saturn, so a little bit further than it has been. And that distance will increase as Saturn is faster in its orbit around the sun than Neptune, so Saturn will start pulling away from Neptune there. But still, if you can spot Saturn, you should be able to spot Neptune fairly close by. 1 degree of distance is about 2 full moon widths. So this is about 6 full moon widths away at the 10:30 position from Saturn. That's in the early evening. That changes overnight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing. We got Ceres for the dwarf planets. We got Ceres will be at opposition on the 2nd, rising as the sun sets. Ceres rises at 7:46 p.m. on the 1st and about 5:24 p.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the south and near midnight when it is highest in the sky. Ceres is at its best viewing for the year this month. Ceres is in the constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 7.7. It's fairly low, so you're definitely going to have to wait until Ceres gets higher up in the sky to spot it. Maybe it's shining at the same magnitude as Neptune, so if you can find Neptune, you might be able to find Ceres as well, but you'll definitely need some dark skies for that. We got Pluto will be stationary on the 14th, meaning that it neither moves forward nor backward relative to the background sky. Pluto sets at 1:14 a.m. on the 1st and about 11:09 p.m. by month's end. Best time to spot Pluto will be in the late evening when it is highest in the sky to the southwest. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.3. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. Meteor showers, the Draconids. This shower is associated with the periodic comet Giacobini-Zinner. The duration may extend from October 6th to 10th, though the point of maximum is very sharply defined within a 4-hour interval on October 9th. But the annual maximum hourly rates are not consistent. The radiant rarely produces any recognizable shower except during years especially close to the parent comet's perihelion passage. The meteors are slow and tend to be relatively faint. They are generally yellow. We do have the Orionids. The duration of this meteor shower extends from October 15th to 29th, with maximum occurring on the morning of October 21st. The maximum hourly rate is usually about 20, and the meteors are described as fast. This year, the Orionids should be pretty good, since it will be very close to the dark of the moon. Yeah, we have a new moon on the 21st, so definitely avail yourself of checking out for the Orionids this year. You won't have any moon to contend with over that period of time for the most part. You will in the early morning hours before the peak, but after the peak, it should be pretty good. Definitely check out for the Orionids. This is one of the better fall meteor showers. Okay, we got the southern Taurids. This meteor shower is active from September 10th to November 20th. Maximum occurs on the morning of October 10th. Maximum hourly rate is 5 meters per hour. The meteors are described as bright and move more slowly than typical meteors, making them prime subjects for imaging and viewing. All right, yeah, Mike, we got that fixed. Thanks for the correction there. Appreciate it. Definitely an advantage of having NetLog. You could send me posts without disturbing the net too much. All right, comments. We do have one comment up there. Comet C 2025 A6 Lemon is passing through the constellation of Canis Venatici and Boötes. Low to the west during the last 2 weeks of the month, shining around 8th magnitude, a 3/8 scope or greater, and dark skies will be needed to view it. So you'll have to catch this one pretty quick. It's fairly low to the west during the end of the month, but there is one comet out there that you can try to shoot for. So that will be another challenge. But since the moon won't interfere too much, you may be able to spot that one. But you'll definitely need to move away from the city lights. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And Steve, we got you online. We got you checked in via YouTube there. So thanks for that. KM6VAY, thanks for checking in tonight. If there are other listeners over on YouTube, you can pop over and say hey in the chat. If you don't have a call sign, that's fine. A first name and a location would be great. I'll get you on the list for checking in tonight. And for those of you who are first timers on the net or listening on YouTube, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I record these numbers and send them off to Jet Propulsion Laboratory at the end of each month. It counts as part of their outreach to the general public, and they do appreciate the numbers that I do send. I am a solar system ambassador for Colorado, and this is one of my things that I do for that organization. And the numbers help greatly. JPL sends these numbers off to NASA, and they get funding for public outreach and things like that. So all of your check-ins are definitely appreciated one way or another. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here, see if there are any more check-ins, and get into the bulletins for this evening. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
KJ5, MNV. Kilo Juliet 5, Mike November Victor. Name's Bernie, New Orleans.
Okay, Bernie, I got you on the list. KJ5MNV, thanks for checking in tonight. A very weak signal. I think it was a Victor Echo 2 or something like that. I didn't quite get the full call sign. If you could give me that again, sir, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead.
Okay, let's try this again. I'm coming in on an all-star node. Kilo 0, Bravo, India, Tango. Kilo 0, Bravo, India, Tango. Also in New Orleans, name is Craig. The irony is, back to you.
Okay, Craig, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, also in New Orleans there. I got you in Florida, so I'll put that down. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. And for you and Bernie, I do have one question, but first, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. On the call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. I've been doing the net for almost 30 years. 3 years on the Skyhub Link system. So welcome. Let's see. Obviously I've done the local astronomical news. Got some bulletins coming up. A rocket report if you're interested in rocket launches around the world for sure. And then we'll go down the list for question, answer, and observation reporting, things like that. I already have a observation report over on YouTube already. But let's see. First off, I like to touch base with my new check-ins and find out what your interests and background in astronomy, whether you've been just starting out in a learning mode or you've been doing it for decades, somewhere in between, still in the learning mode, because I think we all are. So go ahead, Bernie, KJ5MNV, tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much, Bernard. Yes, this is my first time on this net. It drew me in really, and I really appreciate this net as well. I'm sure I'll be on here every week. But my background, no formal education. I think what drew me in was a child prior to the Apollo missions all the way through moon landings, and that really grabbed me at that point. I was very young, and so yes, and then also all the way up to space station, you know, at almost 90 degrees above, tracking that. That was something that I pointed out to my grandkids and caught their attention. And especially the grandson. He's actually interested in the weather and what have you, to where my daughter was able to into a local station here and meet the meteorologist and all of their equipment and gear. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so it's this man's been looking up at the sky forever in wonder, and I think I fit right into that as well. Yeah, and all of the data and everything that I've heard so far that you're putting out, very interesting. And like I said, I'm sure I'll be plugged back in here again listening to you. Coming in through, I believe is who's hosting it, to where I can pick it up. But and back to you, Bernard. KJ.
All right, Bernie, thanks for those comments. Yeah, we're kind of all in the learning mode. I learned something new, and I do the net like every week. Yeah, I learned early as well. I went through, watched the Apollo missions just like you did, and these earlier missions as well, and grew up with that. Oh, let's see. You don't want to know my history quite yet, but yeah, I'm now retired myself. So again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net there. Craig, K0BIT, same question. What's your interest, background in astronomy? Go ahead.
Hey, this is K0BIT. I'd like to ask a quick question about my audio level. Can you just give me a report on that real quick? Because you said I was coming in low, and I wonder if I need to do an adjustment so you can hear me. If you wouldn't mind, thank you. Over.
Your first transmission was low, but the second transmission you came in fine with no problems there, and that transmission right there was fine. Your solid copy, and I'm just watching the meter over there on the YouTube channel there to see the audio, and that audio came in fine. So you're not pegging it or anything like that. In fact, I'm probably over modding over there as well, but. Solid copy there, Craig. Again, welcome. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about your interest background.
Okay, thanks for that report. I didn't know if I needed to adjust it or not. So, name's Craig, and my interest in astronomy probably goes back to when I was in college. And I had this habit of looking up at the sky. Like a business and engineering degree, like a software engineer. What would they call it? I think they called it management information. Yeah, that's what it was. MIS. Couldn't remember. Half engineering, half business. So I said, I'm going to take an elective about astronomy. So I get in there, and this is back in the days when you had, I don't think they have those anymore. This was like big college room. Up in the front was a picture of the electromagnetic spectrum. And that day, I learned that radio and light and the things that make radio work and things that make our eyeball bars are made of the same thing. I about fell out of my desk. I can't even believe that. That the electromagnetic spectrum is all the same phenomenon. And today, it's still amazing. So, I watched planets, had a nice little pair of binoculars, and I'm about to buy my first telescope. It's a Dutchsonian. Somebody made it, and I'm going to buy it. And the next thing that I want to do after I get a visual scope is I want to do something with electronically assisted astronomy, EAA. It has to be Linux, has to be open source. But it's kind of our thing. We travel all around, and I want to bring. I'll have to get another scope. I understand that, and I realize how expensive it is. But tying in something like K-Star with image stacking and that kind of thing seems to be right up my alley. That's where I want to go. So, yeah, it's like a little story. Back to you.
All right, Craig, fine business there. Yeah, we do have some astrophotographers on here as well. You may want to pick their brains every now and then. But lots of different interests across the board. I'm kind of a generalist, but I kind of like cosmology and stuff like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about. I got an interesting article in just a minute there. But again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We're running a little behind schedule, but so I'll try to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get into the bulletins for this evening. Anyone else out there that wishes to check in, if you have NetLogger, you can check in via NetLogger. You can also send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Let me know you're out there. Or visit on YouTube and check in via YouTube, the Colorado Astronomy Net there. And I'll see you pop up. But right now I'm going to go ahead and start off with the bulletins. I always like to start off with ISS passes. For those of you who are interested in ISS passes, you may want to check out this particular website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. And I just pulled that up over on the YouTube channel so you can see what it looks like for ISS passes. What I like about this website, it gives you the times of the pass, where it's going to go, where it starts off, and how high it's going to get. But the one thing I like about this particular application is when I do click on the date of my particular passage of interest, and let's see, get rid of some of that stuff. and it pulls up a nice 8.5 by 11 star chart, so I can see what particular constellations or where it is in the sky, and the timings along with it along its path. And I can print that out on a nice 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which makes it real handy for those of us that want something big to read, as opposed to trying to look at a small iPhone or even an iPad or something like that, unless you have one of the bigger iPads or something like that. But this sheet of paper is easy to print out, and you can take that outside and make doodles on it, whatever, and take a look and see where that ISS pass is over. And again, that website is www.heavens-above.com. And I do recommend you sign up for that, and you can log in, and then you can enter in your home coordinates and get much more accurate timings and position information. It's got a lot more information than just ISS passes, so check that website out. That's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay. All right, I got a bulletin from JPL, day of the 24th. NASA's Webb explores largest star-forming cloud in the Milky Way. Webb's MIRI, managed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory through launch, helped reveal the star-studded Sagittarius B2 molecular cloud in unprecedented detail. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has revealed a colorful array of massive stars and growing cosmic dust in the Sagittarius B2 molecular cloud, the most massive and active star-forming region in our Milky Way galaxy. Webb's powerful infrared instruments provide detail we've never been able to see before, which will help us to understand some of the still elusive mysteries of massive star formation and why Sagittarius B2 is so much more active than the rest of the galactic center, said astronomer Adam Ginsberg of the University of Florida, principal investigator of the program. Sagittarius B2 is located only a few hundred light years from the supermassive black hole at the heart of the galaxy called Sagittarius A, a region densely packed with stars, star-forming clouds, and complex magnetic fields. The infrared light that Webb detects is able to pass through some of the area's thick clouds to reveal young stars and the warm dust surrounding them. However, one of the most notable aspects of Webb's images of Sagittarius B2 are the proportions that remain dark. These ironically empty-looking areas of space are actually so dense with gas and dust that even Webb cannot see through them. These thick clouds are the raw material of future stars and a cocoon for those still too young to shine. The high resolution and mid-infrared sensitivity of Webb's MIRI, or mid-infrared instrument, revealed this region in unprecedented detail, including glowing cosmic dust heated by very young massive stars. The reddest area on the right half of MIRI's image, known as Sagittarius B2 North, is one of the most molecularly rich regions known, but astronomers have never seen it with such clarity. The difference longer wavelengths of light make, even within the infrared spectrum, are stark when comparing the images from Webb's MIRI and NIRCam, or near-infrared camera instruments. Glowing gas and dust appear dramatically in mid-infrared light, while all but the brightest stars disappear from view. In contrast to MIRI, colorful stars steal the show in Webb's NIRCam image, punctuated occasionally by bright clouds of gas and dust. Further research into these stars will reveal details of their masses and ages, which will help astronomers better understand the process of star formation in this dense, active galactic center region. Has it been going on for millions of years, or has some unknown process triggered it only recently? Astronomers hope Webb will shed light on why star formation in the galactic center is so disproportionately low. Though the region is stocked with plenty of gaseous raw material on the whole, and is not nearly as productive as Sagittarius B. While Sagittarius B has only 10% of the galactic center's gas, it produces 50% of its stars. Humans have been studying the stars for thousands of years, and there is still a lot to understand, said Nazar Budiev, a graduate student at the University of Florida and the co-principal investigator of the study. For everything new Webb is showing us, there are also new mysteries to explore, and it's exciting to be a part of that ongoing discovery. To learn more about Webb, visit https://science.nasa.gov/Webb. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see. I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ. I know he may be working, but he did check in tonight, so he may be just monitoring. But I'm seeing if he will be able to give the rocket report this evening, or if he wishes myself to do that. W6RDZ, Ed, can you do the rocket report tonight, or would you like me to take it on? Go ahead.
Oh, Bernard, this is it, 56RDZ. I sure wish I could do it tonight, but I think we're going to miss it by about 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm still out on the road. I'm not back to the station, and then I got a few chores to do. So I'm sorry I won't be able to do it. Dave, well, maybe he can give you a hand with it. But yeah, sorry, I won't be able to deliver the report tonight. Back to you, Bernard, 56RDZ.
All right, Ed, no worries. I'm ready to do it. I got it all queued up here. So, let's see, Mike B over on YouTube. Welcome to the net tonight. I got you checked in. That may be a new check-in for the net as well. So, I'll get back to my YouTube traffic in just a bit, but right now I'd like to share the rocket report with everybody tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. The rocket report for September 30th. This rocket report covers the period of September 23rd through October 7th. Last week's launches. It was a busy week with 10 launches, 4 SpaceX, 4 by China, 1 ULA, and 1 Rocket Lab. Wednesday, September 24th at 01:56 Mountain Daylight Time, China rocket successfully launched the Geelong 3 rocket from Oriental Space Launch Ship Area 1 in China coastal waters in the Yellow Sea. The Geelong 3 is a 4-stage solid fuel launch vehicle. The payload's headed to the Geely constellation. This was the sixth mission, Internet of Things Satellite A through K. Geely is a Chinese car manufacturer working toward automotive connectivity and autonomous driving. Okay, I will also, you can check out my website for the Rocket Report and check out the links there. www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. Scroll down the page and you'll see the link to the Rocket Report. I've already published it for this week. Also, Wednesday, September 23rd at 0530 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 containing 3 scientific solar space probes to the Sun-Earth L1 Lagrange point. The Falcon 9 launched from the Kennedy Space Center. The 3 solar probes are NASA's Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP, NOAA's Space Weather Follow-on Lagrange 1, or SWFO-1 spacecraft, and NASA's Carruthers Geocorona Observatory. All 3 probes are successfully heading to the Sun-Earth Lagrange L1 point. Following synopsis of the mission is excerpted from A Cosmic Carpool is Traveling to a Distant Space Weather Observation Post from Steve Clark, dated September 24th. It's like a bus. You wait for one and then 3 come at the same time. Scientists loaded 3 missions worth nearly $1.6 billion on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket for launch Wednesday toward an orbit nearly 1 million miles from Earth, to measure the supersonic stream of charged particles emanating from the sun. One of the missions from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, will beam back real-time observations of the solar wind to provide advanced warning of geomagnetic storms that could affect power grids, radio communications, GPS navigation, air travel, and satellite operations. The other 2 missions come from NASA with research objectives that include studying the boundary between the solar system and interstellar space and observing the rarely seen outermost layer of our own planet's atmosphere. All 3 spacecraft were mounted to the top of a Falcon 9 rocket for liftoff at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Wednesday from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The rocket arced on a trajectory heading east from Florida's Space Coast, shed its reusable first stage booster for a landing offshore, then fired its upper stage engine twice to propel the trio of missions into deep space. A few minutes later, each of the spacecraft separated from the Falcon 9 to begin a multi-month journey toward their observing locations in halo orbits around the L1 Lagrange point, a gravitational balance point roughly 900,000 miles or 1.5 million kilometers from Earth toward the Sun. The combined pull from the Earth and Sun at this location provides a stable region for satellites to operate in and a good location for instruments designed for solar science. Thursday, September 25th at 02:39 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX launched Starlink Group 10-15 on a Falcon 9 from SLC-40 Cape Canaveral. 28 Starlink high-speed internet satellites joined SpaceX's constellation in LEO, or low Earth orbit. It was booster B1080's 22nd successful flight and recovery. Thursday, September 25th at 0609 Mountain Daylight Time, ULA launched a venerable Atlas V in the 551 configuration from SLC-41 Cape Canaveral, Florida. The payload was another batch of 27 Kuiper, or Ka-03, broadband internet satellites headed to Amazon's Leo mega constellation. It is the 3rd Atlas V mission of 2025 and the 222nd worldwide orbital launch attempt of 2025. Also, Thursday, September 25th, SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 17-11 from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California at 1957 Mountain Daylight Time. 24 version 2 minis joined the mega constellation in a sun-synchronous polar orbit. It was booster 1082's 16th flight. It was a miserable, opaque launch from Vandenberg. While the launch was not to be seen, the booster landing on the drone ship was visible to the cameras. Friday, September 26th, China Aerospace and Science Corporation, or CASC, launched as planned a Long March 4C rocket from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, China at 1328 Mountain Daylight Time. The payload was the Fengyuan H3 mission, one 2,250 kilogram second generation polar orbiting meteorological satellite. Saturday, September 27th at 0640 Mountain Daylight Time, China Aerospace and Science Corporation, CASC, launched the Long March 6A rocket from Taiwan Satellite Launch Center. The four-stage rocket lofted SatNet LEO Group 11, another batch of low Earth orbit communication satellites, into a polar orbit. Sunday, September 28th, SpaceX launched Starlink Group 11-20 into remarkably clear skies from pad SLC-4E, Vandenberg Space Force Base, California, at 20:04 Mountain Daylight Time. The Falcon 9 lofted 28 Starlinks to low Earth orbit. It was booster 1063's 28th flight. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing later Sunday, September 28th at 2100 Mountain Daylight Time, China's CASC launched the Xi'an 01-02 mission on a Long March 2D rocket from Xichang Satellite Launch Center, China. The mission launched a pair of Chinese satellites reported to be for Earth observation, technological testing, and validation, headed to LEO. And today, Tuesday, September 30th, Rocket Lab launched the second Electron rocket launch this month. The Justin mission launched on a suborbital trajectory from LC-2 Wallops flight facility in Virginia at 1745 Mountain Daylight Time. It is another top secret HASTE flight, or high altitude hypersonic accelerator test electron. Upcoming launches next week, just 4 orbital launches on the docket so far for next week at press time. All 4 are SpaceX Falcon 9s, and 3 of them launch Friday. Friday morning, October 3rd at 0700 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is scheduled to launch Starlink Group 11-39 on a Falcon 9, departing Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Friday evening, October 3rd at 2143, SpaceX expects to launch Project Kuiper KF-03 mission on a Falcon 9 from LC-39A, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. This launch is another batch of high-speed internet satellites for competitor Amazon, headed to Kuiper Systems LLC's mega constellation in LEO. Amazon's Kuiper constellation is planned to be composed of 3,236 satellites.
How many satellites? Over?
That was, for that particular mega constellation, 3,236 satellites. It is getting crowded up there in space, that's for sure. All right, continuing. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing. And just hours later, that same Friday at 23:17 Mountain Daylight Time from launch pad SLC-40, Cape Canaveral, SpaceX plans to launch another Falcon 9. This time it's the Starlink Group 10-59 mission. Tuesday, October 7th. At 04:01 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is scheduled to launch Starlink Group 10-52 from SLC-40 Cape Canaveral. More in space news. Starship update. We're looking for an October 13th launch of Starship Test Flight 11 at 17:30 Mountain Daylight Time. Let's see. Sierra's Dream Chaser is starting to resemble a nightmare from ARS Technica. Sierra's Dream Chaser is starting to resemble a nightmare. Development of new space transportation systems is difficult. From Edgar Berger, September 25th. The Dream Chaser space plane, which has been under development for 2 decades, now seems like it might be further than ever from taking flight. On Thursday, NASA, confirming an earlier ARS Technica report, said the first flight of the winged spacecraft will no longer berth with the International Space Station. Rather, the space agency said the Dream Chaser program would be best served by a free flight demonstration. Development of a new space transportation systems is difficult and can take longer than what's originally planned, said Dana Weigel, manager of NASA's International Space Station program, in a news release. As NASA and its partners look towards Space Station deorbit in 2030, this mutually agreed to decision enables testing and verification to continue on Dream Chaser, as well as demonstrating the capabilities of the spaceplane for future resupply missions in low Earth orbit. Excuse me. Excuse me. Still fighting a little bit of a cold here, so didn't want to cough in your ears there. Unfortunately, the YouTubers got it. A dream delayed. Development work on Dream Chaser began in 2004 when a U.S. company named SpaceDev resurrected a NASA concept known as the HL-20 spaceplane. Sierra Nevada Corporation acquired SpaceDev in 2008 and proceeded to win $362 million in NASA contracts to work on crewed transportation to the space station. Sierra Nevada ultimately lost out on the commercial crew competition to Boeing and SpaceX, but in 2016, a cargo version of Dream Chaser was on-ramped onto a NASA program to deliver cargo to the space station. As part of its contract, Sierra Space was awarded a minimum of 7 flights to the space station. The total value of the contracts for dozens of supply missions to be split among SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, and Sierra was $14 billion. A NASA spokesman declined Thursday to say how much money has been allocated to Sierra for its work on a cargo version of Dream Chaser. However, in its news release, NASA said it is no longer obligated to a specific number of resupply missions. Chasing those defense dollars. In its own statement on the announcement, Sierra Space said the new approach will provide it with more flexibility as the company seeks to attract national defense contracts. It is possible that Dream Chaser could serve a future market of commercial space stations in low Earth orbit. But to do so, Sierra will have to get the vehicle flying reliably, frequently, and at a relatively low cost to compete with Dragon and Cygnus. Those are big hurdles for a spacecraft that is now many years behind schedule and no longer has any guaranteed government missions. This just in yesterday. Just a sec. This just in yesterday afternoon from space.com. Firefly Aerospace Alpha rocket explodes during pre-flight test by Mike Wall. The company is assessing the impact to its stage test stand, and no other facilities were impacted. We'll likely have to wait a while to see Firefly Aerospace's Alpha rocket take to the skies again. The first stage of the rocket that Firefly was prepping to make Alpha's 7th ever flight exploded on Monday, September 29th. During a pre-flight trial, during testing at Firefly's facility in Briggs, Texas, the first stage of Firefly's Alpha Flight 7 rocket experienced an event that resulted in a loss of the stage. The Texas-based company wrote in an update on Monday afternoon. Proper safety protocols were followed and all personnel are safe. The company is assessing the impact to its stage test stand, and no other facilities were impacted. That's it for tonight's Rocket Report. W6RDZ Rocket Man Ed wishes you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to Burnus. KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, let's see. Oh, we got Mary over there on YouTube. All right, we got her checked in too. All right, so let's see. Welcome, Mike B. Let's see. Well, you already checked in. Okay, Mike B. and Bayfield. Mary and Bernie, I saw your note there that you lost the link. So check out skyhublink.com for the links, Echo Link and All-Star Note links as well. All right. Right now, I'll go ahead and acknowledge Mark, KC8FQV, thanks for checking in tonight, and Rick, VA3RKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Over on, let's see, over on NetLogger, so I got you guys on there as well, so thanks for checking. Thanks for that. Anyone else wish to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net before we go down the list? Please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
November 0, Mike Echo Sierra. November 0, Mike Echo Sierra. Tom, Park, Colorado. No traffic as well. Got to get the kids to bed first.
All right, good evening to you, Tom N0MES. Thanks for checking in tonight. Okay, yeah, I got you in and out. Other station that had no traffic, you were very broken up and doubled with Tom there, so I did not get your call. If you would come back with your call, the other check-in, go ahead with your phonetics twice, please.
Kilo Romeo 0 Tango Echo Alpha. Kilo Romeo 0 Tango Echo Alpha. No traffic. This is Terry in Urbana. Got Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Bravo Mike. Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Bravo Mike. Mike in Columbus, Ohio. No traffic.
Ryan or Brian, you're very weak signal. I got Kilo Fox 0 up in Boulder. If you could give me your call again, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead. All right, Ryan, we got you on the list. KF0 VDK. Thanks for checking in tonight. Okay, that's a new call on the list. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net there, Ryan. I don't think there's anybody else that's new. Yeah, you guys are all checked in before. Ryan, I'll try to turn up the volume here so I can hear you. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to touch base with my first time check-ins, find out a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between. Go ahead, Ryan. Again, welcome. Share with us what your interest, background in astronomy is. Go ahead.
I'm coming through a little weak. I'm going to try to find another location and then check back in. So, yeah, so, Southern Kilo, yeah, so, clear.
All right, Ryan, we'll let you get to a little location, but right now, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Stick around. This is our question and answer period right now. So the last half of the net, well, I hope not. But we do have a long list tonight, but I hope you can stick around. I always like to touch base with my first time check-ins, so we'll listen out for you a little bit later on. There, and let's see. Dave, got your note? Mary, VE3AOA. Yeah, we'll mark that down there as the call. I think you checked in before, so there we go. Yep. There we go. All right, up in Ontario. All right, now's the time for everyone else to, let's see, did I, no, Terry, yeah, KR0TEA, thanks for checking in tonight, and Mike, KF0DBM, thanks for checking in tonight, and Ryan, again, welcome, KF0VDK, thanks for checking in tonight. And welcome all the new hams and all the new check-ins as well. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net tonight, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Dave, AF0AS, up in Evergreen. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I got a couple of last week by ULA of the Atlas V was reducing the fleet. There are now 12 Atlas V's left in the world to launch, all of which have payloads committed to them. That was the fifth Kuiper launch. So Kuiper now has about 125 satellites in orbit. This week's upcoming Falcon 9 launch will be the sixth to get them up to about 125. They got a long way to go to get to 3,200. then a quick note on Dream Chaser. NASA can't guarantee a fixed number of launches to the ISS because there's not enough launch slots left to get their 6 committed launches in before the ISS is deorbited. So they're going to get whatever's left by the time they finally get past their free-flying demo mission. And then the final note is, as we noted, Starship test flight is coming up. Looks like the 13th is the nominal launch date, like from Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Should be a lovely sunset launch. If that doesn't work, they've got launch opportunities on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, ... They do look like they're getting closer. The booster is sitting over in the rocket garden. The ship looks like it's all about ready, so now they just got to get the launch stand back into order. And then they can stack the ship, stack the booster, make sure all that's clean, and then stack the ship, and then we should have the T-minus 2-day notice, and then we start scrambling. That's about all I've got. Things are moving right along all over the state.
All right, Dave, appreciate that update. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. Next on the list is Randall up in Washington. AE7RJ. Good evening to you, Randall. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we do have a fairly long list tonight, and we may even have it a little bit longer later on. So I'm going to go fairly quickly down the list. So hopefully those of you who are on are listening in and will stand by. You can follow along if you do have NetLogger where you are on the list. And next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Everybody on the net. Well, I tell you, we have not only smoke, but we have clouds and rain too. So, anyway, working on some other projects, playing stuff like that. So, that's what you do, KI7PKL.
All right, Roy, hopefully the weather will clear so you can get some of that imaging taken care of. And I used, again, I used another one of your images in the newsletter. Your M8 Lagoon Nebula. I'm going to publish that in the newsletter this month. And for those of you who are interested in seeing some of Roy's astrophotography work, check out his QRZ webpage under KI7PKL. It's got some wonderful pictures there. And lately he's been providing, I like to showcase some of his images in the newsletter and on the webpage. So there you go. All right, Roy, hope you don't mind me doing that for sure. Actually, I know you don't, so thanks for that. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Matt, W0MDK. Good evening to you, Matt, in Englewood. Go ahead, Matt. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas, N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Here's five for the, how you doing, Mr. Marcus? So, just wanted to note that I'm just want to let folks around the Houston area anyway, the state, that we have a good chance for steep and a nice path ISS. And that's tomorrow night. That is tomorrow evening, right at beginning at under 55 making 50 level. We cut down to the northwest, passing almost directly overhead and heading up towards the southeast. So coming up out of the northwest sky and heading right out over southeast, too fast for 8. It's listed as a very high brightness with a negative 3.9. I can see that's going to be pretty bright. I think it would be past my high sense here tomorrow night. And again, starting in the Houston area, Snyder 55 tomorrow evening. So it's going to be competing with I think it's going to be probably pretty visible. So run in there and say, and 70 degrees to everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. I'll be clear.
All right, Moy, good luck with that. I hope you do get to see the ISS pass overhead. Those are, yeah, minus 3.9. Yeah, that's as bright as Venus is for sure. No problem seeing that with the naked eye whatsoever. A little hard to track with a telescope, but it's definitely possible. But it definitely is bright enough as well. But definitely, hopefully, you'll get to see that. And like I said earlier, you can check out whatever applications you like to use, but I kind of like to look at the www.heavens-above.com so I can print it out and see what those passes are going to look like, see if they're going to be high overhead or what have you. Those are some of the best ones. And some of the interesting ones is when they do pass into the Earth's shadow before they get from horizon to horizon. So check that out. Always interesting, different areas. Yeah, I think we got one pass that was later this evening, or it's already occurred. It was very low. We got one other pass within the next 10 days over the Denver area, and that was a very shallow pass to the north. They're going to be switching again. So I didn't get too many passes over the Denver area, but obviously you're getting a nice pass tomorrow there, Moy. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. And Scott, we got you on the list. N7FGP. Thanks for checking in tonight. We got you there. Checking in via NetLogger, so hopefully you're listening, and we'll get you. You're tail end Charlie right now. But we'll get down to you. Let's see, where were we? Oh, we got Moy. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Ken out in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening there, Ernest, and V7SS here in Indian Spring. I'm not sure if it's working to power outage today, and it's, I guess there was a spike in router, so I don't have any Starlink internet. So I'm using my phone. I'm using my cell phone internet. I don't know how well it's working. I'm talking about my M1KE. And I will see it. But anyway, I know this I go outside at night, moon anymore. So it must be out during the day. So yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't get to hear your talking today. I had company and I just had to check in and wait until after they left. And when they left, everything was already done. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm sure it was fantastic. I'll look on the window and anything on there to look at. But anyway, there, Bernard, thanks a lot. You take care, and we'll see you down the log. And hopefully I'll get the internet going and everything will be okay. NB7SS, back to you, Bernard. Thanks again for being there.
All right, Ken, a little broken up, but we caught most of that. Yeah, it's handy to be able to connect through your phone. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to be connecting through my iPad. Maybe, we'll see. Speaking of which, I guess that's another announcement that I will not be doing the net next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. John, W2JLS in Ohio, will be doing net control next 2 weeks. So those of you who are listening tonight, definitely give him your support next couple of nets. I would certainly appreciate it. I won't have all of my stuff that I have here to do that and be set up to do much other than listening in and supporting you guys from the other side. Yeah, all right, Ken. Yeah, the moon will be full on the 6th, so it just passed its first quarter. So it is an evening. It is in the evening, early evening, so it may have set already. But you should be able to see it the next couple of days for sure. It's rapidly approaching full by the end of the week. So there you go. So you'll get to see that. All right, Ken, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Stan up in Ontario. VE3PSE. Good evening to you, Stan. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is VE3PSC in Sudbury, about 5 hours north of Toronto. Yeah, it's cooling off here. We had some frost over the last little while, so it's getting cooler in the night, that's for sure. But beautiful days, a lot of sunshine. Was watching the moon tonight. I tried what you had suggested last week. One of the ideas is to use polarized sunglasses to look at the moon, and definitely does do a wash. It helps to keep the washout happening from the bright moonlight. So that was really appreciated. And I did see the ISS go over, but I had my radio on and there was no signal, so it's possible the repeater wasn't on, or they were, they sometimes have their downtimes when they're doing experiments up there. But I have been listening to the ISS comms, and it's interesting to hear them every once in a while talk about the ham radio and turning it off or turning it on. So I guess they are watching it and keeping an eye on it up there. I had a link I'll post in the AIM window about the snow lab in Sudbury. We have a neutrino observatory about a mile and a half down in the hard rock mining, one of the old mines, Creighton Mine in Sudbury, and it's snow lab, and they are looking for dark matter. And there's about a 5-minute video. I'll post it, and they kind of, they interview the scientists down there and talk about, exactly what they're trying to do and how they're trying to detect dark matter, and I thought it was a nice summary. But yeah, that's all to report here in Sudbury. Thanks so much for doing the net. Rocket report, very, very nicely done. DE Victor Echo 3 Papa Sierra Echo. Back to you, sir. Back in control.
All right, Stan, appreciate that. Yeah, when I see it, that link pop up over the AIM window, I'll post that over on the YouTube side as well. So for those of you who are listening over on YouTube, I'll post Stan's link to that, especially if you're interested in neutrino detections, things like that up in Canada. For those of you who are on YouTube that cannot participate over the air, if you have any questions, you can post them over in the YouTube chat window, and I'll make sure I check that every now and then. All right. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Rip out in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is David out in Ohio, WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, brother. Yeah, it's been a really, really rough week for me. I know it's not astronomy related, but our loving royal pit bull, Athena, passed away on Sunday, and we're really having a rough time dealing with it. But I know it'll get easier, but it's hard to know right now. Anyway, on to the astronomy front. I mentioned a while back I was interested in buying a spectacular crane. I ended up with a Celestron C8 Edge HD, and already had it out. Absolutely loved it. But I found at my age it's really, really hard to contort myself into the positions I need to get a proper alignment. So I bit the bullet and ordered a StarSense auto align. It arrives tomorrow, so I'm going to find out how it works. The 10-inch Dobsonian build is going by. I've got a 10-inch Newtonian that was formerly system mounted, and I'm in the process of building a top mount for it, and that's clicking along just fine. Anyway, I've got a question for the net. I'm currently imaging M57 and a couple other objects tonight on C-star plan, and every time I've got it running out in the backyard, I've felt a certain inhibitment to being able to operate HF during the time. I'm kind of afraid of RF interference when I'm not running amplifiers or anything. I've always run barefoot, 100 watts or less. I'm 100 watts and the wire's going to get by. But I run a lot of FT8, so that's like 100% duty cycle, 15 seconds at a time. I'm just wondering if anyone's experienced RFI with their smart scopes. S30, anything like that. Anyway, that's what I got. Anyway, back to the WDA there.
All right, Dave. Yeah, I haven't operated my radio when I've done any. I've got a Dwarf 2 camera, but I wasn't operating any radios, HF, VHF, or anything else at the same time, so I don't know. it might be a good question for Roy. He does some digital imaging as well, but I don't know if he's worked done radio work while imaging, waiting for those images to appear. I'd have to ask him there. But definitely a good question. But I don't know. But I would probably err on the side of probably not. But it could, I guess. But kind of a wishy-washy answer there, David. Yeah, do appreciate that question. Yeah, sorry for your loss. You know, losing a pet is definitely losing a loved one. Your fur babies there for sure. You know, we've had to put down quite a few of our fur babies as well. We've had cats over the years, but yeah, definitely know how you feel. Definitely hard all around. David, let me give a call to Roy and see if he's ever had that experience. KI7PKL, if you're still there, did you hear David's question about interference from amateur radio while doing digital imagery? Go ahead. Or anyone else that's had possibly interference while imaging with amateur radio signals. If you have, I'll just continue on down the list. But David, you may want to check out, send Roy an email to see if he's had any issues with that. It's call KI7PKL. Check with him. For sure there, David. David, appreciate you sharing that with us. Hopefully you'll get some, do some more work with the telescopes. And if you do have any images that you'd like to share, definitely send them to me and I'll post them in the newsletter as well with proper credit for sure. If you do get something that you'd like to share, especially even if you got Pluto, just some comparison shots from one night to the next or something like that. That would definitely be interesting to see for sure there, David. If you could do that, that would be, I think you were doing that. Correct me if I'm wrong there, David. Weren't you doing that? Go ahead.
Yes, I certainly did that. I imaged Pluto 2 nights apart, and it definitely moved. I've got images with a little yellow arrow pointing at it, and you can kind of flip back and forth between the two images, and it's very obvious. WE had invested in it.
All right, David. Yeah, you can make a little movie of that. You know, one picture and then another, and do that several times, and see that it jumps back and forth, and say, hey, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to see those images for sure, and I can post them on the net. It would be interesting to see, or post them on YouTube for that matter, and that'd be kind of neat to do. I have to figure that out. But yeah, David, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us tonight. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Richard down in New Mexico. KJ5MOD. Good evening to Richard. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Hey, next over on YouTube, Mike KO5AOK. Good evening to you, Mike, over on YouTube. If you've got anything, post that over there on the YouTube chat, and I'll bring that up. Next on the list is Mike up in Ontario, VE3BCG. Again, Mike, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Yes, good evening to Annette. Very interesting regarding some of the launches that you were talking about earlier on in the news there. 62 Fahrenheit. And otherwise, I got nothing else to report. And back to net control. D3 BCG.
All right, Mike, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the rocket report. I do have that posted on my website. I also have the link in the YouTube channel. If you go there, there's several links that I have connected to that. You can check that out as well. But again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully we'll hear from you from now on. So appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. Next on the list, Graham in Scotland, MM1DEA. I don't know if Graham is still with us. It's running kind of late, but I'll give him a call anyway. Graham, are you still with us tonight? Go ahead. What have you got for us tonight? Next on the list is John out in Ohio, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening to you, Bernard, W2JLS. I just kind of dug into some research on this day in history, September 30th, and I did this. It's kind of a neat way to kind of explore things you don't know. So it turns out this day in history kind of, as a piece of trivia, I'll point out that Kepler, obviously the famous astronomer, he left Graz and headed to Prague, and he was forced out because they were forcing Protestants at the time to become Catholics, and it didn't work for him. So this would led him to Prague, where he met and developed a relationship with Tycho Brahe, and that became like really critical to the history of astronomy. Kepler transitioned Tycho's observational data into the three laws of planetary motion we've come to know, and it's kind of curious to wonder how that would have gone had those two not connected somehow. And then also, kind of coincidentally, years later, that occurred in September 30th of 1600 that he left Graz for Prague. Years later, 1604, 4 years later, same night, that was the night that the nova in Ophiuchus happened. Ophiuchus had a nova that came to become known as Kepler's nova. And this was a big deal. It was as bright as Jupiter, visible in the daytime sky, like in the early morning, apparently for weeks, rivaling Jupiter magnitude, I think minus 2.5 is what I was reading. So really kind of cool, and kind of coincidental too. So I thought I'd share that. Kind of neat. And I will also say that I did some research past that. Like we have not had a nova that bright since. So I have to go back to 1604 for something of that magnitude. So with that, Ernest, I'll
I probably need to put it together on phone at some point relative to next week and the week beyond. Just want to get the logistics square with you. Back to you, sir.
All right, John, appreciate you sharing that with us. Always like to share some astronomical history there, so thanks for that. Yeah, we definitely need to get together. I was just going to send you an email with my 2 phone numbers. If you want to stick around after the net, we can hash out a time at your convenience. And as I'm retired, so I'm pretty well wide open. I can send you my numbers there, and we can get together tomorrow or the next couple of days. My wife and I are leaving on Monday, so I know we'll be packing probably Saturday, Sunday, trying to figure out logistics and stuff. So next couple of days for sure. But decide what we want to do as far as note taking and all that other kind of good stuff there. Yeah, I probably will not worry about YouTube. That's kind of, unless you're familiar with how to run the run YouTube and getting all that set up. But I wouldn't worry about it next couple of weeks. So those of you who are listening on YouTube, I will not be doing a YouTube presentation. So you'll have to check in via radio or NetLogger or some other way next week. Hopefully one way or another. We'll see. But yeah, John, I'll give you a call, or you can give me a call at your convenience tomorrow, and stick around after the net. We'll discuss that. John, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, we're about halfway through the list, well, we'll continue on as long as you guys want to stick around. We'll continue on. Next on the list is Todd in Indiana. KE9 DQS. Good evening to you, Todd. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Ed out in Broomfield. W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, this is W6RD there. Thank you. Yeah, nothing else for you. Very much enjoyed your delivery of the rocket reefers. Always enjoyed hearing that and your other bulletins. They were good. Enjoyed all of that. Thanks again for taking the net. And also enjoyed Dave's updates there on SpaceX and his comments on the articles. So yeah, another great astronomy net. Thanks a bunch. That's all I've got. W6RDZ. Back to that.
All right, Ed. Yeah, always a pleasure. No worries. Got some great information on the rocket report for sure. So thanks for that. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. We got Steve checked in over on YouTube, but he may be on the air. KM6VAY. Good evening to you, Steve, up in Fort Collins. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Bernie down in Louisiana, KJ5MNV. Good evening to you, Bernie. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Craig down in Louisiana tonight, K0BIT. Good evening to you, Craig. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list, Mike B over on YouTube. Anybody on YouTube, if you've got any questions, definitely post it over there as well. So, and it goes for Mike B, Mary W. Let's see, anyone else that's over on YouTube, if you've got any other questions, go ahead. And Steve, you as well. I saw you up there. Next on the list is Mark out in Ohio, KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Just listening along. Just want to say good evening, and thanks. So let's send it back to net control. QV.
All right, Mark. Appreciate you being there. Appreciate you comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Rick up in Ontario, VA3RKL. Good evening to you, Rick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Mary up in Ontario, VE3AOA over on YouTube as well. Thanks for checking in tonight. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Tom out in Parker, N0MES. Good evening to you, Tom. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Terry out in Nevada, KR0TEA. Good evening to you, Terrence. Terry, what have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is Jerry, JR0GA, enjoying the show, and back to that.
All right, Terry, I appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Go ahead. Let's see. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Mike out in Ohio, KF8 DBM. Good evening to you, Mike. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Ryan up in Boulder, KF0VDK. Good evening to you, Ryan. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully you've gotten situated and stuck with us tonight. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Scott down in Texas, N7FGP. Good evening to you, Scott. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Ernest, and everyone on the net. Looks like I get the red lantern. Yay! Yeah, I've been very busy, so I haven't checked in for a while. So, anyhow, I haven't done anything new. I'm getting ready to move, and so haven't had much time to do anything but deal with that. And the gentleman who had the interference in his imaging, you know, he might try putting some chokes in the, I don't know how his setup is, but put some chokes between the camera and the USB cable that goes to the computer. That might help a little bit, anyhow. I would try that. Anyhow, thanks for doing the net, Ernest, and have a good evening.
All right, Scott, appreciate that. Yeah, anybody that's familiar with FT8 and all the hassles that I had to go through with FT8 and putting those chokes on just about every single cable I have down hooked up. I think I'm on my third set of chokes that I got from Amazon that I bought a while ago, and those were set to 20 plus on all of my communications gear down here, and computer gears and TV and power cables and things like that. It did clear up my signals for FT8, and once I did that, I got out. But that might be part of it. If you let's see, David, if you've got the interference with that, that might be a trick that you can use for sure. If you're still on there and listening, I think you are. Yep, you're still there. Thanks for that, Scott. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. David, did you, WE8M, did you catch that? Over.
Yes, I did. WE8M. My question was basically, I have, so far, I have refrained from transmitting while I'm imaging. I was wondering if anyone has experienced RFI while imaging, if they have transmitted while they were imaging. So, I guess I might have to get the real answer myself just by putting out a few getting on 20 meters at the power I normally go, and I was just wondering if anyone has experienced that. But so far, I have refrained from transmitting during an WD is impact for Penn.
Let's see, David. Yeah, hopefully your camera is not sitting right next to your antenna, so I think the radiation goes down by the inverse cube or something like that. So probably not. But yeah. Well, I always tell my wife I can only multitask one thing at a time, so I only play with one hobby at a time. So if I'm out, looking at the stars, I'm usually looking at the stars, and I have actually done the net with an HT, a very impromptu net before, while looking at the stars or going out and watching an ISS pass over the Denver area or something like that. But I haven't done that lately. When I was pretty much relegated to the Denver area for the net, we'd all go out with our HTs and watch the ISS go over if there happened to be a pass during the net. Can't really do that with everybody spread all over the country and all over the world at the same time anymore. But yeah, I would kind of think that it would not, but like you say, you can experiment, do some observing, or at least try to do some imaging of something that you've already imaged before, and then trying again with it as well. And oh yeah, you mentioned, I think it was you that mentioned you were imaging M57, the Ring Nebula. That's actually my favorite. In fact, I used that on my QSL card. That was the first deep sky object I ever imaged and or looked at through my telescope when I first got it back in 1980. So just because I thought it was pretty cool to see the remnants of an exploded star up in the sky. But yeah, I used that image on my QSL card, in fact. But yeah, try, experiment, see, and then you can pass along the information to the net when you get that experiment done there, David. It'll be interesting to find out. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We are well past the top of the hour and at the bottom of the list. I'm going to make one call only. Just a sec.
Yeah, there's that image on my QSL card, in fact. But yeah, try, experiment, see, and then you can pass along the information to the net when you get that experiment done. It'll be interesting to find out. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We are well past the top of the hour and at the bottom of the list. I'm going to make one call only. Just
JM7CCU, are you able to hear me?
And this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. That was kind of weird. There was a delay between my transmission and on wires X to analog by a full minute, so that was kind of weird. One call only for anybody else. Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please call please call KI0AR now. Station calling KM7CCU. This is KI0AR. Would you like to check into the Colorado Astronomy Net? Go ahead.
Yes, please. I'm new to Fusion, and I just got done reprogramming this radio, and I was trying to check in with Net and just making sure that since I knew somebody was on here that said you're doing the net, that I'd be able to be heard. Because I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I'm new.
All right, Lance, I got you on the list. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, we were all new once, and we're all in a learning mode. So welcome to the net. Mark, we got you on the list. K0GLR. I heard you. You were very, very low, but I still was able to check you in. Lance, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is the tail end. Yeah, I see you're up in Washington. Yeah, you found the tail end of the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernus. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. And let's see, if you're definitely interested in astronomy, you can check out the net on Tuesday nights. It would be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 6 p.m. Your time there is when we start. Like I said, you caught the tail end. You got a solid signal into the Skyhub Link system. Tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy. Whether you're just starting out, you just found the net and thought it was interesting, or what have you. Go ahead, Lance. Again, welcome to the net. What do you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, I grew up as a typical kid looking up, and I have a place that I can visit on a regular basis during the summer months where there's no pollution. I'm always looking up. I'm also a big aviation fan, mainly antique aviation. But I'm new at staring up at the stars. I mean, when I was a kid, my father he upgraded and upgraded and upgraded as we got looking at eclipses. But for many years I had other interests. But I'd like to learn more. I'd like to know what meteor showers are happening. I'd like to stand on my balcony here in Spokane, Washington, and look up and see something interesting. Yeah, and I'm also kind of interested in SpaceX and how they kind of took over for the U.S. government, and they're making space exploration, inexpensive or less expensive. I don't know. I'm just interested. I'm very new. I'm very green. I appreciate you giving me the time. KM7 CCU.
All right, Lance, this is the place for all of that. You can check out my newsletter. You can look at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html and show you what's up in the sky. It's got all the links there to the rocket report, to the YouTube channel, and in all of that, all the links there as well. So you can definitely check that out, find out more information. I also got my email on there, so you can send that, send me an email either through there or QRZ or what have you. Or like I said, I'm on YouTube there, so there you go. and check out some past nets as well. And I did record this evening's net as well. But right now, I've been running kind of long. Let's see, we started at 7. It's now almost 9:30. Nice long list of check-ins tonight, and I do appreciate you checking in tonight. So again, welcome. With that, I am going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'm going to let the repeater system reset, and then I'll sign off. So please stand by. Cut out. Okay, I don't know if somebody was trying to check in or not, but there was no audio. There was a lot of clicking and dropping in and out of signals. But if you were trying to check in and you weren't able to, I do apologize. Send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Let me know you're out there listening, and I'll put you on the list after the fact. No worries there, but I do appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 30 check-ins for checking in tonight. I appreciate everyone checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. John, W2JLS, will be your net control for next week, so please give him your support. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater system. Also, like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their systems as well. Skyhublink.com for more information on that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear. W2JLS, this is KI0AR, KI0AR calling.
KI0AR W2JLS. Yeah, I just noticed your text there in on the YouTube. Yeah,